All right, today we're installing the Gunnell fishing rod holders from Specialty Marine. I've taken my old ones off, and if you can look at these, they are quite old. The wood is just really bad, not worth refinishing those. So I've got my 4 older ones. Mine had 3 rod holders. The new one come with 2 on each, which is fine. So I've got 2 lefts and 2 rights. When I took my old ones off, I ended up taking the side piece off as well. Like this. They come already connected with the side piece, which is great. They do come, I got the varnished ones, and they do come with 5 coats of the captain's varnish. What you're going to have to do is you will need to take your brackets off your existing fishing rod holders. We'll take those brackets off, unbolt them, and you will need to drill new holes where those brackets go. So take the bracket off, just line it up in the corner. We'll pre-drill that hole and put those brackets on there, and I'll tell you what size drill bit to use when I come back for that. So first I'm going to do, take all these brackets off and get set up to be able to pre-drill these holes. Alright, so we've taken all the hardware off of our old under Gunnell fishing rod holders, and if you notice on this hardware, we're going to have to transfer this hole over to the new ones. So just to make sure everything's the same length, make sure you hold up your old ones to the new ones, make sure everything's the same size, same length, you don't have no confusion on where everything's going to line up. And then we're just going to take our piece of hardware. This one does mount where the long flange is what goes out. The short side is what attaches to your Gunnell holder. And just to keep the orientation correct, the fishing rod holders point towards the inside of the boat, and your bracket is going to go just like that at the top inside portion. So take that, mark it with a pen or a pencil on all your new under Gunnell fishing rod holders, and then you're going to drill that with a 3/16 drill bit. And that'll be just big enough for your hardware, your nut and bolt from the previous one, to be able to slide through all the way. You're not having to thread into the wood. You can just go straight into it and not have to worry about threading into it. So the drill bit, just big enough so the screw can go through easily. So mark those, drill those, and then we'll attach the hardware and go from there. You notice I flipped the bracket around. These rod holders have this little cleat that sticks out. 2 are on one side, 2 on the other side. So really you're just making sure that the bracket is flush with the flat part of your rod holder, not the curved part. So I've marked all those. We're going to go ahead and drill it with a 3/16 drill bit. Alright, now that we've got our holes pre-drilled, we're ready to use, ready to reinstall our hardware. On mine, it's been out there a long time, from early 80s. It does have a little bit of corrosion and some buildup on these aluminum brackets. Now would be a good time to go ahead and clean those up. All I do is you can take some rough sandpaper at first, some 60 or 80 grit, just kind of knock as much of that corrosion or buildup off of it. Aluminum does not rust, but it does corrode. And so it's good to go ahead and get as much of that corrosion off as possible. It'll also just help those nuts and bolts to sit down nice and a lot more flush. Okay, now we've got those cleaned up a little bit, we can go back to putting these things together. One thing I did notice in my brackets, not all of these holes all of the holes you're going to be using to go into the wood, the new rod holders, all seem to be nice and lined up on the short side. But mine, for whatever reason, on the long side, some of the holes are different height. So I'm going to try to match them all up. I'm assuming when they originally got installed from the factory, some of them were just drilled at a different height for some reason. So I'm going to try to do my best to kind of line them up to a similar height, put them back to back. That way you kind of get them going at the same height here. Just keep flipping them around. So it looks like you have some that are hopefully lining up. Make your life a little easier when you go to install them. Alright, after I looked at all my plates here, I wasn't able to get all the holes to line up exactly right. And I noticed, I went back and looked at my boat, and from the factory, not all of the holes in the existing gunnels where these brackets go are perfectly straight. So you might just have to take a look at your boat, do the best you can by lining these holes up so that they match your existing holes if you're going to existing gunnels and not wanting to drill new holes. And then just kind of see if you can match up which ones go where. Ideally, when you take these off, go ahead and mark them when you take them off the old one, which spot it goes on the boat and which side the bracket goes on, so that if you have those issues, you're not having to try to figure it out after the fact. I'm doing a full refurbishment on my boat. Didn't think to look at that when I took it apart, and it's been several weeks, and so I'll just have to take a look at that. I had refinished my gunnels, so they're the original gunnels from 1983. So I'm going to go over there, see if I can match these up, make them all work, and then put the new brackets, put the old brackets on the new gunnels. Alright, so I've got all the brackets attached to the new rod holders. The next thing you're going to want to do is drill holes in this cleat so that can attach to the interior of your boat. Here's one of my old ones. If you've got existing holes in your boat, you're going to want to use your old one to line up and mark where the pilot holes are going to be so that it can line up with your existing holes in your boat. For me, I actually completely patched and repainted my boat, so I don't have any existing holes. So I'm going to use this as a template just to have consistent spacing up and down. Use that to mark holes, consistent spacing on each one so they look uniform. If not, you could use the old ones, put it on the back of it, and actually drill straight through it to make sure you have an exact replica of where the holes of your old boat are so they line up. So use it on the back to line up, or if you don't have existing holes, you can do it from the front and use it to line up as well there. The size drill bit you're going to want to use is a 1/4 inch drill bit through the wood only. You don't want to use a 1/4 inch drill bit into your boat. This will be the size of your new hardware that came with it. Through the wood, the screw is just going to slide all the way through, and then it's going to grab into the boat. So 1/4 inch through the wood only, and then we'll use a much smaller bit into the interior of your boat if you don't have existing holes. So I'm going to go ahead and mark these and drill through them with my 1/4 inch drill bit, and I'll be ready to put them on the boat. I'm going to mark the holes on the back. That way when I drill through, I don't risk damaging the drill, hitting this front of this and taking all the finish off of it. If you have a really long drill bit, you can do it from the front, but for me, I'm going to do it from the back to make it easier so I don't damage any of the finish on the front of the rod holders. Alright, so now I got all those holes drilled. We'll go up onto the boat, and if you don't have existing holes, I'd recommend using a 1/8 drill bit. It's just a little bit smaller than the body of the screw. let's go up to the boat. We're going to attach all of these into our existing holes in our gunnel, or if not, you'll drill new holes on the inside of your gunnel where these line up and put your bolts through them.
Alright, so now we're on the boat, and I've already attached the brackets through the existing holes I had in my gunnels. Got those matched up, lined up, then I put the gunnel holders, the fishing rod holders, lined them up against the side of the boat there, used my existing holes that I drilled in the fishing rod holders, drilled through into the side of the boat with that 1/8 inch drill bit, and went ahead and put the screws with the finish washers that came in it through the fishing rod holder into the side of the boat, got those snug down. And then now I'm going ahead and tightening up those brackets that we had previously installed on those fishing rod holders to the inside of those gunnels. As you can see, I have my daughter there being a very good helper and assistant, encouraging me along as I go. So same process of just repeat it on the other side. Take your time. It can be a little bit challenging to get all that stuff tightened up. I was able to use a nice ratcheting wrench on the back side of that hardware to make that life a little easier. So there you go, the under gunnel fishing rod holders installed, looked great. Take your time and you end up with a very nice finished product.